Hello everyone, it's Spawn Warrior 5 again here today, bringing you guys three different games that kind of represent what we're talking about here today. And before anyone says, "Oh my god, you're copying off of Quills for doing all the old film effects," this was his idea to do this with Left 4 Dead 2, but I'm throwing in two other games. So yes, credit does go to the Quill Zone for the idea of doing old film effects with zombie games. So again, not trying to say this was originally my idea, but it's going to be a totally different commentary. Essentially, at least I hope. I haven't really seen that video in a while, but again, his video, or what I want to try to say, or his channel will be in the description below. Check him out and stuff like that. Just want to get that out of the way before anyone brings up any crap. But in today's video, I'm going to be talking about zombies. Kind of a no-brainer here, because essentially what you're watching is some clips of Left 4 Dead 2, Dead Island, and Dead Block. So today I want to talk about really, I guess, the probability of a zombie apocalypse actually occurring, and just how we're reacting to the whole idea of a zombie apocalypse. Oh gosh. First of all, it seems as if a lot of people nowadays actually want there to be a zombie apocalypse. And the reason being is just because, well, I don't really know exactly why everyone would want to have a zombie apocalypse, but my thoughts is that because we can have just a world without any rules. It's just surviving, and even though there's not a whole lot of luxury, a lot of people these days, as in a lot of younger people, would just like to go to town on some zombies and not get punished for it, and, use guns and knives and bats and stuff like that, and just, have a grand old time beating up on some zombies. But it would seem as if a lot of the older generation are just like, well, that's kind of a scary idea because, survival is a tough thing, while a lot of young people are just like, bring it on! It's just like a whole different mindset. And you see zombie stuff in the media today, and a lot of other stuff so much, in video games and, survival gear. There's a whole bunch of stuff in Cabela's and other, sporting stores, zombie knives, zombie ammunition, stuff like that. Just poking fun at the whole idea of a zombie apocalypse. I mean, it's everywhere, the whole zombie mania is, it's hitting hardcore because there's shows dedicated to zombie apocalypse. There's games like these that are dedicated to zombies. I mean, zombies are everywhere. It's the next hottest thing besides, first-person shooters and, well, I'm talking games here, but in the media in general, it's hotter than vampires and fantasies like Twilight and all that crap. But, yeah, it's just, for me, like, noticing all this, it's just the older generations really don't have the same idea that the younger people do. It's just like, oh crap, there's going to be a possibility of an apocalypse, but that's the next thing I want to go into. It's just, is there going to be a zombie apocalypse? We hear all these things in the news about the people doing bath salts, eating people's faces and attacking people without any remorse, and there's needing to be a whole bunch of people restraining them. And, in my opinion, no, there won't be a zombie apocalypse, and there never will be. And the reason being is because a zombie essentially is the undead, a person being brought back to life, and roaming around looking for brains and stuff like that. That's essentially the whole story behind zombies. And the problem is that when a person dies, just in general, if a nerve cell dies, if nerves die, there's no regrowing those nerve cells. There's no regeneration of the brain, there's no regeneration of spinal tissues and stuff like that. Just the nervous system in general cannot regenerate. So when a person dies, when those cells die, there's no reanimating that tissue. I mean, sure, you can maybe, regrow some of the cells if the person recently died. You can take a tissue sample and keep those tissues alive for further study, but when it comes down to the nerves, when the nerve cells die, they're dead. There's no regrowing them, there's no culturing them, there's nothing. Nerve cells are dead. So, essentially, the whole idea of zombies as the undead is out of the question. You know, there's no possibility of zombies like the ones you're seeing now of ever happening. Now, if you're talking about infected, like, you know, when you're talking about zombies, quotes from the movie I Am Legend, or, you know, the graphic novel I Am Legend, whichever reference you understand, that's more probable. You know, an infection that affects the central nervous system and the brain, that'll degrade it. Yeah, that could happen. There could be a virus that occurs or develops that basically breaks down the, you know, really developed parts of our brains until we get to our raw instincts of, you know, natural survival stuff like, you know, sleep, eat, and make babies. That's essentially our natural instincts as humans. Those are the natural instincts of basically all organisms, is to reproduce, sleep, and make sure that you're well fed. You know, and that's essentially what would probably happen. You know, that's more probable than an undead invasion, because, again, my point is, once a nerve cell dies, it's gone. It's dead. There's no reanimating that tissue. There's no reanimating, you know, the core parts of our brain for us to rise again and be like, brain, you know, it's just not happening. But for there to be a virus that degrades the brain until we become these mindless, you know, beastly people, yeah, that could potentially happen, but I don't see that happening anytime soon, because essentially the only thing closest to that is from people doing drugs known as bath salts, and I don't know exactly the full details of what bath salts are, but essentially they just affect your brain so much that you think you can do anything, and that you basically turn really, really violent. And that's, I mean, that's a general statement about bath salts, but again, undead invasion and undead apocalypse is never going to happen. You know, I mean, you can argue all you want, but a dead nerve cell is a dead nerve cell. There's no Frankenstein thing going on here. It's just not happening. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Again, zombies seems like they're all over in the news, or not really the news, more of just the media today, television shows, games, and stuff like that. But again, I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you guys want to leave some comments below about, do you think a zombie invasion will happen, leave your thoughts below in the comment section, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and have a great day.